everyone. Welcome to episode 125 of the Arieknits podcast. My name is Ariel, and this is a video podcast where I talk about all the things that I have been knitting and spinning on for the past week. In this case, the past 3 weeks, because the past few weekends have been quite busy. I had things, just like a whole bunch of things. Of course, flock happened since the last time we talked. I had a skating competition that I do want to just share a little bit about too. And I did get knitting done. I got some spinning done. I also got some sewing done in the past 3 weeks. And so I'm really excited to share with you all what I've been working on. I have a finished object and I have a new cast on. I have an almost finished object. I'm starting to work on some things that you haven't seen in a while. When I was looking at my notes to add for today, I was like, oh my gosh, where are my notes for this project? It's been some time since I last talked about some of these. So let's get right into it because I think this video is going to be a little bit on the longer side. I don't want it to be too much longer, and I also have something I need to go and do in the next, I need to make sure this doesn't run forever. But I'm happy that you're all here. Thank you so much for coming and watching, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, let's get right into it. What I'm wearing today. I am wearing the Robinson Wrap Cardigan by Florence Miller. And the yarn I use for this is Woolberry, Berry Suri, and Berry Merino, both in the colorway Sweatshirt, and so I held those two yarns together. I knit size B, and I use US 6 needles, 4.0 millimeter needles to knit this. And final measurements, I have 32 inches in circumference, and that's with it like closed the way that I tied this, and I will stand up and show you this on me. But it gives me about 2 inches of positive ease. This pattern is meant to be, I think, pretty tight fitting, but I don't really like super tight fitting things, and so that is why I did kind of like size up and do size B for my size. And then as far as like modifications, I did modify the sleeves a bit because because my gauge also was a little bit big for this. I did have to add more decreases towards the end, but I think everything fits super nicely. I'm actually wearing it for the first time right now after washing and blocking, and so this is kind of like the final product of this, and I'm very happy with how this washed and blocked. So I will stand up now and show this to you. Look how cute. I just need to turn to the side so you can see the I-cord bow. This is like, I love bows, and so anything that has a bow, I love. Okay, here it is. It is a fully like wrapped cardigan, and so the tie on this side does actually go all the way around. There is a hole for it to poke out, and then, you tie it with the other side. So this was knit flat, top down, has a nice double knit band all the way around, and it has a 1x1 rib all the way around, and you can see it still has some like ease, right? But it's not super tight, and it's also not like super like flowy and drapey. Like I really like how this is fitting. The V-neck, I feel like I will always wear this with like a top under it, and so wherever this V is kind of hitting is really nice. Here's the sleeves. As you can see, there's still some give in it, some positive ease, but it does nicely decrease all the way to my wrist, and this is like ideal sleeve length for me, and also like the cuff circumference leaves it so that it's pretty snug but not tight, so that I can do the thing where I can, have it scrunch it up on my arm and for it to stay, but also it is a little bit longer. Like if I had it stretch a little bit, it's like this much, not covering my thumb, but definitely covering most of my palm. And I like having that option for my sleeves to either just sit right at my wrist, or if I'm just like a little cold and I need to kind of like cover parts of my hands, I can do that as well. And so overall, this is really great. I am actually I'm going to a birthday party at an ice rink basically kind of right after I film this video, and I am going to wear this. I'm going to wear this cardigan there, and so we'll see how it wears and how it feels skating in it. I think it's going to be really cute to skate in, like a little wrap cardigan situation. I feel like it's perfect for this situation because it's a birthday party, and it's not like, I can't wear this when I like normally train for ice skating because I'm like actually like practicing stuff and I get pretty sweaty. Like it's gonna be too warm for my normal practices, which is kind of, I don't ever really do just like for fun skating. But today will be a for fun skating day, and so I get to wear some like cute ice skating outfit, and so I'm pretty excited for that. But yeah, so that's the plan. We'll see how it wears, but I think it's gonna be great. I've been wanting to make this cardigan for so long, as I've mentioned in the past, and so for it to be finally done, for it to feel really nice and cozy, the Suri on it makes it feel so nice and soft and warm. I am very pleased and very happy with it, and also getting an opportunity to wear it out today. I'm excited. Okay, so that is the Robinson Wrap cardigan. Overall, love. Very happy. Also, like, really nice to have, like, a sweater finished object. Even though it's summer and it feels kind of hot, I like having a finished sweater kind of project. So, yay, I'm really happy with this. Okay, next up, let's move on to my one finished object this week. And I think I have it right here. And actually, I believe that this is something that you haven't even seen, because I started this and finished this within the time that, from the last time I podcasted. But these are my August socks. I cast them on and I finished it, and today's Saturday, August 23rd. I think I forgot to say the date, but we're still in August, and so I'm still on schedule with my year of socks. These are the Oxbow socks by Andrea Mowry. I have made this pattern in the past, but I followed the instructions for the sport weight yarn for the socks, and this time I used fingering weight yarn. Speaking of yarn, the yarn I use for this is Moondrake Co. BFL High Twist sock set in the colorway End of the Rainbow, and it was a sock set, and so it came with a mini, and so the main color for this was this kind of like muted rainbowish kind of color. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, I think the reason why I think muted rainbow is because the colorway name has the word rainbow in it, but it's a lot more like orangey in most of the colors, but there are like purples and blues in there, so that's really nice. And then I think the mini went really well with this. It's nice kind of like coppery kind of color, and so I just did the top of the cuffs with the mini, and then the toes in the mini, the contrast color as well. I knit size 3 following the fingering weight instructions, because I knit size 3 following the sport weight instructions, and it fit me really nicely. I used US 1 2.25 millimeter needles. Okay, so even though I made the same size, just in different, and there are separate instructions for the sport, if you're using sport weight versus fingering weight. And so for the same size, for like fingering weight, you do cast on more stitches just because the gauge is smaller. However, I think that maybe these turned out bigger than my sport weight version of these socks, even though I did the same size in each of them. And so if I were to make these again in fingering weight, I would actually size down. It could be because the stitch pattern, my gauge is just like looser than normal, so they ended up a little bit bigger, but it's fine. I'm not super picky with how my socks fit. I think out of all of the socks that I've ever knit, there's only one pair that it really bothers me how loose it is, but I think these ones should be fine. I did kind of like wear them one day this week and they felt fine. I did not wash and block these yet, so we'll see if that kind of makes them grow even bigger. Kind of hope not, but I'm actually quite excited to wear these a little bit more, because this is my first time, I think, using a BFL. Well, I think it's not all BFL yarn. Actually, I do have let me quickly get the yarn band for this. Okay, so this yarn is 80% superwash BFL and 20% nylon. And okay, so I think that this is my first time using a BFL yarn for socks, and so it does feel a bit more rustic, but I think that they will wear a lot better, or just like, less likely to get holes in it, hopefully. And so I'm excited to kind of like test that out and see if maybe I should make all my socks with BFL in the future. But yeah, they're very cute. I just, for this month, I really was kind of just like trying to find like a new pattern. I was really hoping to do a new sock pattern this month, but I just couldn't quite find one that I felt like that I would like in this yarn colorway. And I was like, you know, I've been telling myself that I wanted to knit the Oxbow socks in fingering weight. So it's new in that sense where I didn't make like the exact same, I mean, it's basically the same, but you know, just fingering weight versus a sport weight, and I thought it would be nice in this variegated color, so that's what I did. And I'm happy. It was easy to work on since the stitch pattern is very easy to memorize, and it all worked out. It worked out. I just followed the instructions for the size, and so there's not really no modifications except for maybe the foot length based on your own foot, right? But yeah, so those are my August socks. Okay, and my one finished object for these past 3 weeks. Okay, I'm trying to figure out where to put all of these things. Okay, next let's talk about my WIPs, because I do have a slightly longer list than recently, but they should be pretty easy or quick to go through, I hope, because we gotta get to, I'm gonna show you all my flock purchases as well at the end. Okay, let's start with this. I did a little bit on my mitered corner blanket. I'm following the pattern by Purl Soho, sort of, kind of. And so here's what I have so far. I believe I did not weave in the ends, because I was like, maybe if I don't weave in the ends, then I'll be able to figure out which squares I did since the last time. But it's been so long, and I'm kind of just doing this whenever, but I think that I did these 5 maybe at the top since the last time. I'm starting to lose track, but it's a very, you know, simple, easy, quick kind of thing to just add on squares every now and then when I remember. So this month is growing a little bit slower than I was hoping for it to. It's just been working on other projects, but I still want to make some progress. So yeah, I am just doing, again, as a reminder, I'm using leftover fingering weight yarn, and I'm holding it double, or just 2 strands of fingering weight yarn for each of the squares. And I am following the stitch count instructions for the small size, and I'm using US 6 needles, 4.0 millimeter needles, to knit this. And yeah, I'm just excited to have, even though I don't work on this too much, I like having a scrappy project kind of like in progress, just to feel like I'm working through my leftover beautiful yarn that I have from previous projects. So that is my blanket. Okay, next I have a progress update on my Fleur Tee. This is a pattern by Woolbird. I will hold it up. I've made some good progress on this, so I'm very excited. I am using Sewrella cotton linen wool yarn, and in the colorway Queen Mary's Rose Garden, pretty pink color, and I'm knitting size 2, and I'm using US 1.5 needles, 2.5 millimeter needles. For this, it's very small needles, small gauge for this tee, but I think it'll be worth it. Now that I have more of this actually done and you can see the fabric, I really, really like how it's looking. And I finally memorized the chart. I think it just takes me a while to memorize charts, maybe more than most people, but finally memorized it. And so I think that that is why I've been more motivated to work on it, because I don't have to look at the chart all that much. And I think at this point, so as you can maybe tell, this is worked bottom up. And I might be a couple inches away from splitting for front and back, and so that's really exciting. Oh, you can see my stitch marker from where I was last time, and so I worked a good chunk in the past few weeks, and I'm looking forward to it. Also, I've been this is like one of 3 that I'm hoping and planning on making before the end of this year, because I want to make matching tees of this for my sister and my mom, and I want it to be like a Christmas present. So hopefully we'll get there. But I need to finish mine first, and then I need to figure out how is my gauge compared to pattern so that I can make sure that theirs is going to fit, and just see overall how it goes, how long it takes me to make mine, so I can gauge how much I need to work on theirs to be done by the end of this year. But I'm enjoying it. I think in the beginning I was kind of dreading it because I was like, oh my gosh, it's a lot of stitches and it's really small gauge, but I feel like I'm flying right now through this. That's a lot of body done. At least I think. I guess it has been 3 weeks, but I feel good. I'm feeling good about this. So yeah, so that's the Fleur Tee. I feel like I was going to say something. Oh, this is my first time using this yarn from Sewrella. I think that this collection that I bought the yarn from was the first time she offered this base. And so far I'm liking it. I am very curious to see how it'll feel wearing it. But so far it's been good working with it. No complaints. I'm enjoying it. So yay. This is the Fleur Tee. I know I'm trying to go through this really quickly. But I think I'm saying all of the information. And it's not like the last time you're going to see these projects either. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about my... Oh my gosh, I just have like a pile right now and I'm just like switching them back and forth to find the projects. Okay, this is my Rivendell Pullover by Sari Nordlund. And, oh, I was meaning to look up where I was last time because I think I know where I was, but I forget. But let me hold it up, what I have. Yay. It's actually starting to look like a pullover. I think last time I do have this stitch marker up here. And so I think maybe I was starting the pickup front on this side. I don't know if that was the first or second side, but as you can see, I have done the top, front and back, connected in the front for the V-neck. I've connected in the round for the body, working on the body a little bit. Oh, I did the neck, stand up. I did the neck ribbing, and so now it looks so nice and polished and clean. And then I am now working on a sleeve. And so the body's not done yet, but I was at the point where I finished a ball of yarn, and so that's when I did the neck ribbing and then started the sleeve, because that's how I like to do it. And so I'm almost done with this first sleeve. As you can see, I'll show you the top of these sleeves. There are decreases on the under part of the sleeve, but on the top there is a cable chart to follow, and it's looking cute. Yeah, oh, this is a pattern by Sari Nordlund. The yarn I'm using is Explore Knits Earthy DK in the colorway Chinle. Chinle is like one of my favorite colors from Explore Knits, and I've used and have this colorway in a lot of different bases from them. And so this one is the Earthy DK base, and I really like the color, and I like it in this pattern as well. I'm knitting size 1, and I'm using US 4 needles, 3.5mm needles to knit this. And it's nice right now. I think that this might be one of my only DK weight yarn projects. I think, well, I guess my blanket is DK weight, but I feel like all my other projects are like fingering weight, and so it's nice to have a project that kind of knits up a little bit faster while I'm working on my slower projects. But yeah, that's my update on my Rivendell pullover. It is one of my Make 9 projects for this year, and so I am trying to make sure that I keep it going on that, because I would love to finish it before the end of the year. Also, because after this one, I still have 2 more things on my Make 9. So far, I think we're on a good pace. Okay, next up, this is the project that I have not talked about in a while, and I'm bringing it back. I need to, there's reasons why I need to start this. I didn't realize how long I've been working on this project, or like when I cast this on. I cast this on like last year. It's been almost a year since I've had this on my needles, if you can guess. This is my Birch Pullover by Andrea Mowry, and the yarn I'm using is Explore Knits Earthy sock base in the colorway Bainbridge Island. It's such a gorgeous color, such soft pastel watercolory looking yarn. Here's what I have so far. I just have the body to work on, and so you can see my stitch marker here, and so I've worked this much in the past few weeks, which I think is a good chunk of body. And I just finished, I believe it's my third ball of yarn. So I was like, great, perfect for podcasting, so I can just like hold this up and not be attached to a ball of yarn. But yeah, I need to get this done this year for sure, and I just need to like continue working on it. Part of the motivation for me wanting to finish this sooner rather than later this year is because I am planning on doing the Hohi Locatelli like fall knit along, and I want to make a Mabel sweater, and that one is also a fingering weight sweater that kind of has a similar looking texture, although it's not brioche, and I don't think it's half fisherman's rib. But it's similar in, it's a fingering weight sweater, and so I don't want to have two fingering weight sweaters on my needles, so I really want to try and finish this soon, within the next month. Fingers crossed that I can do that, because I really want to start on the other sweater, but I don't want to get stuck. Like, I want this to be done. Because it's going to be so good. This is my second Birch pullover, and so I know I'm going to love the finished object. But yeah, I just need to get it done. I have my other ball wound up already, so after today, I will reattach and start working on the body again. Okay, so that's my Birch pullover. Did I say I'm knitting size 1 using US 2 needles, 2.75 millimeter needles for that. Okay, I have 2 more WIPs to talk about. Okay, this one also I haven't talked about in a while, and then I am almost done with it. Actually, I'm done with the knitting on it. This is my 2-color brioche scarf. I am personally not following a pattern for this. I'm just doing a 2-color very long rectangle of brioche stitches with I-cord edging. Here it is. I mean, it's not actually that long. And if you remember from before, the reason why I am making this is because my friend Emily and Megan, actually, although Emily I think was the one, she started this first, but she is making a 2-color brioche scarf. She is following a pattern, kind of, sort of, made some modifications, but she wanted some friend help motivation to get her to knit on hers, and so I cast on like a similar project, and Megan, I think, cast on and then ripped out and cast on again, maybe ripped out again and cast on again, hers. But I was inspired again to work on this. I think part of it is because I have so many things I want to cast on this year, and I was like, there's some projects that I just need to just get off the needles to feel like I have more capacity to cast on more projects and have more WIPs. And so this was one of them. It is DK weight yarn, or, well, okay, one of the yarn, this variegated light colored with speckles yarn, is a Coast to Coast yarn classic DK in the colorway Sprinkle. And then the other color, the tonal, is a Sewrella classic sock in the colorway Hollywood Studios, and it's that's fingering weight yarn, but I'm holding it double. So I had 2 skeins of each, and I think, which one ran out first? I think my Sewrella yarn ran out first, but I basically knit as much as I could. Actually, this is all, I left it, I did not cut it. This is all that was left of my Sewrella yarn, and so that's when I stopped for the length. It did block out. This is blocked already, but I didn't weave in the ends, as you can tell, but I haven't checked to see what length it's at because I wanted to see if I should. It is not long enough, I think, for me to, well, I guess I could do this, but then I guess I actually could do this, wrap it around like that, and then for the ends to be long enough to like hang down. But I was also considering making this like an infinity scarf and just like sewing these ends together. I mean, maybe not a Mobius, but you know, sew the ends together and to have it just be, I think I will actually sew the ends together like this so it's just like one big loop that I can wrap around twice or once. Twice? Well, I think, you know, whatever amount this is. I think that'd be considered once. Or is it twice? Well, once would be if you just put it on, but then I want to twist it and put it on again so that I have two loops around my neck. I think that's what I'll do. So thank goodness it blocked out a little bit longer so that I could do that. But yeah, this is it, almost finished. The knitting is done, and so that is kind of, I feel like, what counts the most. But I am not calling it a finished object yet in this podcast because I need to weave in ends and sew it together now that I know that that's what I'm gonna do. But it's feeling really nice and soft and really squishy, and I feel like that is just like with brioche, it just feels really nice. And so I think it's gonna be a really warm and cuddly feeling scarf in the end. And so that is my 2-color brioche scarf, and so I'm glad that that's basically done. I did use US 6 needles, 4.0 millimeter needles to knit that. Okay, and then I have one new cast on to show you all, and I kind of shocked myself maybe a little bit because I cast on with some yarn that I got from Flock. I think that this might be like the fastest that I've cast on something with yarn that I bought from Flock. And this one I just felt very inspired by the yarn and also the pattern that I wanted to make. I was like, ooh, that would be so good. And it's like a summer top, and so I was like, I want to make it and wear it before the summer like officially ends. Okay, I'm gonna hold up what I have because I feel like, and for fingering weight yarn, this is like pretty, I feel like, substantial. This is the Floret top by Marie Eve Wedge, and the yarn I'm using is Little Wing Fibers Shadow Sock in the colorway Nori. And oh, I also want to get the yarn band for this, maybe. Oh no, I do have it here. I have the actual yarn. I got 2 skeins of this from Flock. So pretty. This yarn base is amazing. It is 80% superwash merino, 10% gray yak, and 10% silk. 437 yards for 100 grams. It's so nice. It's going to be so nice and drapey. And this pattern, I'm pretty sure I had a picture up already, but it does have these like, it's like a tank or like a sleeveless top that has eyelets going down the front and the back. So let me hold it up again so you can see that on mine. And then there's going to be a ruffle that goes around, like attached to the front and the back, kind of close to the eyelets, and it kind of like does a little sleeve thing. It's very cute, and I feel like it's very me, and so I'm very excited to be working towards this because it's so pretty. I think I saw pictures of this top when it was in testing, and I was like, I know I'm going to make that. So I was just kind of like waiting and keeping an eye out for when the pattern came out. And so, very exciting. Also, this is my first time knitting with Little Wing Fibers yarn, and I've been meaning to knit with her yarn ever since I think my first purchase from her was last year's Flock, and you know, I just couldn't find like the perfect pattern. But I feel like this time I found the perfect yarn, or the pattern for the yarn, and I was like, I've been wanting to use Little Wing yarn for so long. I'm like, I'm just gonna cast on. I was like, do I wait until after I do this podcast so I can show you the yarn? But I was like, no, I'm just gonna cast on so I at least have something to show you and you can still see the yarn. Also a great segue maybe into my acquisitions, although I do have some spinning and sewing I want to talk about before going into acquisitions, so maybe not quite. But yeah, here it is. This color is so nice. I think because of that gray, with a gray yak, it really has this like nice gray like undertone or like depth to that color, the green color. And it's so pretty, and it is a little bit shiny because of the silk. And It's so drapey and it feels so nice and soft. I'm really looking forward to wearing this. I think this will be like a really comfortable top to just like have on and to wear and to feel. And so I'm working through this. I'm trying to work through this. I am connected under the arm now just a little bit, and so it is just working in the round now. And let me show you my we'll see how far I get on the body, because I still have a good amount of yarn left on my first skein to work on through the body. So yeah, I'm quite excited for this. I got really into this since flock happened. So yeah, looking forward to this. I'm hoping to finish this while the weather is still warm enough for me to wear this. But yeah. Okay, so that's all of my WIPs for the past 3 weeks. Very fun, very exciting. Some new things, picking back some old things, and so that's great. Okay, I actually have some spinning updates for you all today too. Okay, I finished a spin, and this one is the Nest Fiber Club. It was a mixed merino fiber, and the colorway name is in the description. It is very long, and I cannot figure out how to say it or pronounce it, but this is what it looks like. It's this nice kind of like moody color, and I think the mixed merino had some like dark gray merino in there, and so it does kind of have this darker tone to the colors because of the fiber. And I did, I think like a probably a 1, or was it a 2/4 fractal? I did some kind of fractal spin. It's a 2-ply. I had a lot of, I don't think I split up my fiber very well because I had this much left over from, you know, the main skein. But I did this one really quickly because this is actually going to be one of the prizes for the knit along that was hosted by Megan, Emily, and me for Flock, and winners have already been chosen, and Megan got in contact with them, and so I have to give her this yarn before she can ship out the prizes. But I finished the third. This was the third hand spun that I needed to finish for the prizes. And then just as a reminder, so I want to take pictures. I want to for my own records, also maybe take yardage, so the winners can actually like know how much yardage is in these. But these are the other skeins or hand spun as well that's going to the 3 prizes for our knit along. And so you're seeing it here first, all of the hand spun that I am contributing for the prizes for our knit along. Thank you all for participating in our Flock knit along this year. It was pretty fun, and the picture that we took at Flock was so cute, and everyone was in like different colors, and so we really looked like a happy rainbow of knitwear and in Tori U patterns, and it was really cute. And it was nice saying hi to you all and kind of like chatting and hanging out for a little bit, and so yeah, that was so fun. Okay, but yeah, so that's one of my finished spins this past week. Oh, I think I finished it closer to Flock. Okay, and then I started another spin. This is 4 ounces, and I have 4 more ounces of this colorway to spin. This is Little Fiber Co. Rambouillet in the colorway Fungi Filigree. And here it is. I'm trying to see, I think that I have the braid of the fiber somewhere. Oh yeah, it's right here. Okay, so this is it in fiber form. So cute. And then this is it spun up in the singles. And so it really, there was a lot more white in the fiber form and less white in here. And so I'm really curious to see like if the end product just looks more light brown than, you know, white with splotches of darker colors. So this will be very interesting. I was planning on this being my contrast color for my pressed flowers shawl. However, I feel like now it might not be enough contrast with my main color for the shawl. So I might have to spin something else. That's also maybe why I'm kind of like speeding through this. Because I did spin these 4 ounces this past week. but it's feeling so nice. Also, I feel like it's been a while, maybe, since I've spun Rambouillet, and I forgot how much I love it. I love spinning Rambouillet. It's so easy. It's so, like, fluffy and kind of, like, springy. It's really nice. Really, really nice. And so that has been a fun spinning project. I do want to continue spinning that quickly-ish, because I might have to pivot my plans for it and spin 8 ounces of something else. I have something in mind, but we'll see. So that's been my spinning. Okay, and then real quickly I have, or maybe not quickly because I'm actually obsessed with this finished object, I have a sewing finished object. I actually started it last night and I finished it this morning. I am so obsessed. I'm gonna hold it up and then talk about it. Oh my gosh, are you ready? Okay, maybe you have all seen this on Instagram already, because that's where I saw this pattern, and this is the Swim Along Crossbody Fish Bag by Madison Moore, and it is a quilted bag that is shaped like a fish, and it has a strap on it, it has a buckle, it has a zipper at the top. I will show you more of it, talk a little bit more about it. I know this is a knitting podcast, but maybe just more crafting podcasts, because I've been really getting into the sewing this year versus the past like 2 years, or ever since I got my sewing machine. But I did see this pattern, I think when it came out like last year, and I was like, it's so cute, but also way above my skill level, and I was for some reason not really that interested in sewing a bag, even though it seems very useful. But I think I saw someone wearing this bag at Flock, and I've seen some other people I follow on Instagram make this bag in the past, and I was like, oh, it's so cute. I just don't think I have the patience or time to try and figure out how to make this. And then I don't know what happened. I saw it again, I think, on Instagram, and I was like, all right, I'm feeling motivated. I want to make this thing. I need to figure out how I'm going to make this thing. What is it all going to take to figure out how to make this? Because I've never quilted before. I've never sewn with a sewing machine zipper before. It just all seems kind of complicated. But I read through the instructions. I got all the material that I needed. I tried to like visualize what needed to happen, and I was like, I think I can do it. Also, look how stinking cute it is. I'm actually very obsessed with this. I wore this out today. I went out. I had 2 strangers tell me that my bag was really cute, and that was like kind of amazing. And I'm just so happy. I did have to buy this bag is meant to be like use your scrap fabric, and I don't actually have that much scrap fabric that is in solid colors, and so I did have to buy, and I didn't know that they sell fabric in these like smaller sheets. Like, you don't have to buy it by the yard. It's like these smaller square-ish rectangle sheets, and so I got multiple different colors. And then I did have this one printed, like flower print. I have some leftovers, and I was like, I can use a little bit of that. And so I was nervous about my color combinations, because I was like, I don't know how to visualize the different colors in fish form, but I think I did a really good job. I really, really like the color combinations. So there's a few colors here. Of course, I have my flower print. I have the blue for the face, green for like the fins and the tail. I have a purple stripe right in the middle, and then this darker pink for the bottom of the fish. This is what the back looks like. So only the front has like the fish eye, you know, and the pretty print. But I guess you could also do that for the back if you wanted to. But I just chose purple. There's blue on the bottom, and then to sew down the strap here, I have purple on this. I have blue on this side, and then I got these like a fun pack of zippers, which are like different colors, and so you can maybe see the zipper is actually a light blue, and then like the fabric part of zipper is pink, light pink, and so that's also really cute and fits, I feel like, the colors with this bag. And then this is the inside of the bag. I just had it be the same color as the bottom part of the fish on the inside. I have some bias binding on the inside, one purple and one light blue. And that's that. I learned new things, new techniques with this, and it wasn't all too bad. It worked out pretty quickly, more quickly than I was anticipating. I used, is it called, what is it, or like, you know, the quilting, is it called batting? I forget now. But like, to do the quilting, so it has like that kind of like squishy, thicker fabric, and to sew the lines all across, or like to sew the grid across. I do have some creasing, so don't look too close, but like that was the first time I did that. Also, to like stuff in the tail part is also quilted, so it has a bit of that like fluff like interior to it. First time, I mean, this is easy to do, but it was my first time with a project that has like a buckle thing on it, and also this like adjustable strap thing there. I am very proud of myself. Let me put it on. There's nothing in the bag right now. I will stand up so you can see the full fish. It's so cute. It's so cute. It's actually bigger. The fish is a little bigger than I thought it looked online, but like, I feel like it's it's not only a bag, but it's kind of like part of an outfit, because it is just like fish all across the front. But I love that. Okay, I also have a great idea for this as well. This was my test run, because when I saw this and was thinking about it, I was like, maybe this is my cousin's Christmas presents this year. If you've been watching from last year, you'll know that last year I knit the Stella quilt cushion for my cousins and my sister for Christmas last year, and that was like there's something, I don't know, I feel like I want to maybe always in the future, I guess as long as I have time, but like last year was the first time that I think I really, that's not true. I did crochet, I think, something for my cousins a few years ago before that, but last year I made the Stella quilt cushion for my cousins. I have 3 cousins, and then since I made one for myself, I also was like, I'm gonna make one for my sister as well, and so I made 5 of those last year as Christmas presents. And I was trying to figure out this entire year, what am I going to make for my cousins for Christmas this year, because I want to make them something. And then, you know, I saw this, I was re-inspired about this pattern, and now that I've made it, I feel like I can do it. Can I make 4 more of these by the end of this year? I think so, if I put my mind to it. I just have to figure out the color combinations and all of that. So I told my sister to help me with the color combinations, because even though this one turned out good, I feel like maybe I got lucky with my color combinations for this looking nice. But my sister has, I feel like, a better eye for that, and so I'm going to ask her for help. But like, how cute! And then we could be all of us with our fish pouches, quilted fish pouches. And because I'm going to see them for Christmas this year, I feel like it'd be so cute for us to get a group picture of us in our fish pouches. So cute. I'm really actually obsessed with this. I cannot stop. I kind of just want to wear this all the time, even around the house. Even if there's nothing in the bag, I just want to wear it. I just want to look at it. I want to make more. I just want to make more. Although maybe not right away, because this did take... I really powered through making this because I was so excited to see the final product. And each time I like did a part, I was like, oh, I can see the fish. Oh, I can see the fins. And so that was really cool. I did have some learnings on sewing the zipper. I don't have the cleanest edges on this zipper, and so hopefully my future iterations of this will go better, especially because those will be gifts. But I think it's not bad. Not bad at all. I'm very proud of myself for making this. I think it's very cute. And I'm very happy with it. And it worked. I used it as a bag today while going out and walking around. And it worked. It did not fall apart. And so that is, I feel like, what what matters, what counts, and yeah. Oh, I did, if you follow me on Instagram, I did post on my stories when I was working on this morning, because I was like, I wanted to try and finish this bag before going out and running some errands and stuff this afternoon, because I did want to wear this out, and I did. I was able to finish it, but I was kind of worried because while I was sewing on this, because it is quilted and there's some parts where there's a lot of fabric to knit through, to sew through, I bent one of my sewing machine needle, which that has never happened to me before. Not that I sew a lot, but this is the first time that's happened. So this is the first time, today was the first time that I actually changed out my sewing machine needle, and it was a lot easier than I was worried it was going to be. I did have to look up a video on how to do it, but good thing I had extra needles, and I had like a heavier duty needle, like a thicker one, and so I switched it out to that one for doing all the thicker sewing sections of this. But here's my little fish bag. My little fish bag. So I'm so happy with this. It's so cute. It's my obsession right now. Oh, I'm excited for this project and future iterations of this. Also, I cannot wait to see, just like, can you imagine just like 5 different versions of this bag, because you can do different. I followed, I think it was view B of the pattern, where it does kind of instruct you more on having this like horizontal like strip in the middle, and then like having it split out like this. I think you can also have like stripes this way, and many different, you can do however you would like with this, which I think is so fun. I did have to hand sew on the eye. That is the recommended way to do it with felt, and so this is just felt. But yeah, my fish bag. Ah, it's so cute. I want to make a bajillion of them. I feel like it's just also a fun way to use up leftover or small pieces of fabric that you have. Okay, so that is my one sewing project for, I'll say for the week, but I started working on it. Like, by start, I mean like taping together the pattern and cutting out the pieces, like from that start. I started yesterday, like right after dinner. And then I kind of worked through midnight, and then I woke up this morning and finished it in a few hours before we left. A few hours. Okay, I think now it is time to talk about flock. I don't want to talk too much about, in general, like how it went. I mean, I enjoyed my time there. I walked around the floor, like, I was there Saturday and Sunday, walked around and visited most of the booths, I think. Bought some yarn, which we'll talk about and I'll show you in a little bit. I'll try not to make it too lengthy of a section, but overall I had a really fun time at Flock. This is my 3rd time at Flock. I've had a great time. Some of you came up to me to say hi and to get a picture, and you were all so sweet. Thank you so much for saying hi. Now it was so great to see you all, and that was so fun. We got to hang out with the Tori U, PKW Flock U knit along group. We sat and hang out, did some knitting together, got to chat, and I'm glad that I got a little bit more knitting and chatting done this year than I did last year. I know last year I was like, oh my gosh, it was just all shopping and not really sitting down and chilling. Although I did more, I think I bought less this year, which was kind of my goal, than last year. But there was still a lot of walking around that happened. But it was great because I wanted to see some new things, new yarns, say hi to the people who were vending, friends that I don't see unless they're at Flock vending. But let's get right into the acquisitions because I feel like I was more intentional this year than some other years. I guess there's only been 2 other years, but I'm very pleased with my purchases this year because I think most of them actually have plans. I actually bought less fiber this year than last year, which is crazy, I think, but let's start maybe with the fiber. And this is in no order, no particular order. I guess the order is just whatever's comes out of the bag first. I got this from Witchfire Fibers. This bat, it is so floofy. It is so soft. This is from Charlie. And there's like a little note on here about Charlie, and it's so cute. So actually, let me show you this picture. So cute. I wasn't actually planning. I didn't do much research about what people were bringing to Flock this year. I kind of was just gonna go with the flow, but I think it was Megan who was like, I'm gonna get some Charlie bats, and I was like, oh, me, I don't know what that is, but me too. And then so I went and I touched it, and I was like, yes, I would like some. So I did get this bat. I actually got more bats, although actually not that many bats, just 2 bats, I think, this year. Yeah, but, so this is my other bat, this year. Oh my gosh, I'm like going crazy, I think. Okay, Little Fiber Co. I saw this and I was like, it screams me. It's a very, probably in this lighting you can't really tell, but it's very pale, pastel, kind of rainbowy color. And by rainbow, I mean there's hints of pink, trust me. There's also blue, and definitely blue because there's a little speck of it right here. Like that's definitely a speck of blue. And just like overall, just like ethereal, light, very light pastel colors in this bat. I think the color is called Impossible. And then this is a Cornwall Rose bat. So it's 80% Cornwall and 20% Rose. And it's 60 grams. Hand carded by Kira Wiggins. So pretty, so floofy. I just feel like I really needed to get that. It's been a while since I've spun from a bat. I think I'm trying to remember the last time, but it's been some time, and I do have some more bats in my stash as well, and so I'm hoping to do kind of a bat spinning situation soon. Okay, I did get, this was definitely a planned purchase. I knew I wanted to get this. It is Yarn Jam. I love Yarn Jam. And this is the La Mercerie exclusive colorway Harvest Moon. And it is so nice. Oh, this is Shanico, and you all know I love Shanico. It's US Merino Rambouillet fiber. And what really got me about this colorway was actually how it looks spun up. Because I think in this form, like I love this section of it, but I feel like overall it looks too orangey for me personally, but seeing it spun up, and I know it could also, the way I spin it up will look a little different, but I love how it looks spun up and also how it was knitted up. There was like a sample. So pretty. And so I did get 1 braid of this. Also because Yarn Jam is great and I want to buy more and support Yarn Jam. So got Harvest Moon. And then more fiber. I think this is the last piece of fiber that I got. I will just take out 1 ball of these, but I got 2 of them. I think each of these is 2 ounces. So I got a total of 4 ounces of this. This is Rivendell Roving. It's 100% Rivendell / CVM wool from the Windy Indigo Flock, milled in the Pacific Northwest. I got this from, I'm pretty sure, oh my gosh, what booth was this? Well, it says Windy Indigo, Whidbey Island Farm and Fiber. Show you the tag here. Hopefully it focuses, but it looks like some roving CVM. It feels really nice and airy and soft and squishy. So, and I love that this is like a light color with just like little flecks of like this, like, I don't know if it's dark brown or maybe like a gray, but I like how that looks. And so I did get a total of 4 ounces of this fiber. And they gave me a little bag to put it in so that the fiber wouldn't get all squished or, you know, get ruined by getting, you know, I don't know, poked by other things. So that was really nice. Before we get into the yarn, maybe I should talk about some of my notions. I forgot about the notions, but I'll go through them quickly-ish. Hopefully some are in like bags. Okay, I went to the Making Treasures booth. And I got some woven labels, and so I got these. I don't know if my camera will focus quick enough, but they're pink. They're a pack of pink labels, and it says made with my hand spun. And I feel like I have quite a bit of sweaters that I've knit with my hand spun, and so that'll be a great one. And then I did get these also as a gift for one of my sewing friends, and it says self-drafted, and she does sew a lot of, I think, her own things, or self-drafts. She does a lot of tests, but I think anyway, I just thought it'd be cute, and it's purple, light purple, and my friend likes purple, and so I got that for her. So that's what I got from Making Treasures, and I'm trying to figure out, oh, well, it says Mica on here as the brand, so maybe that was the booth name, but I got this little, super little pouch, and it is really cute. I mean, it really is just this size, and I got, like, the flower print, and I think one of my friends got the pouch, and I was like, oh my gosh, where'd you get the pouch? It's so cute. And she was like, at this booth, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get one. So I did. It has a keychain on it, so you can actually, like, you know, keychain it onto a bag and just have a little zippered pouch, and so I thought that was cute. Just trying to lift all of these out. Okay, I'm trying to, like, group these maybe by, I got a couple of things from, I'll just start with this. I got some things from Denim and Rain. I got these buttons because I feel like I always need buttons sometimes. There's 6 of these in here, and they're, like, kind of pearly, clear, and also have some, like, gold flecks in them. And I think that that's really pretty and should match with a lot of different colors for my knitwear. And then I also got this set of stitch markers from Denim and Rain. And after I saw, like, the theming on this, I like, really wanted to have these. I'm trying to buy less stitch markers. I say as I still have more stitch markers to show you, but this has 4 sheep on here, and each of the sheep are in, like, a different season. So, like, one, there's, like, snow, and one looks like fall, spring, summer. And then the accent stitch markers, I think, are also, like, the seasons. And I just thought that was so cute, and so I wanted that. Also, I dug through her, like, stand of them because the backings on this main one was different colors, and so I wanted to get the one that was, like, a pinkish color. I guess kind of peachy colored. But I got that. And then also from Denim and Rain, I got this art print pink sheep that I'm hoping to hang up on my wall once I figure out where my cabinets are gonna go. I just need to, like, spend the time to figure out what I'm gonna do with my background here. It's too cluttered. I need to figure out their permanent situations, and then I can decorate the walls. But that is what I got from Denim and Rain. And then I did get more stitch markers. These ones were planned. I did see these on Instagram before, and I was like, I definitely want to get these stitch markers. This is from Joe Studio is the brand, and these are Birch stitch markers, so they're wood. I'm just trying to lay them out so you can see all of the designs. This pack has 6 stitch markers. And this was at the Little Wing booth. Okay, hold them up. Ooh, it's so cute. Okay, I see now it says tea time on the back here. So I think that's the theme for all of these, or this set of stitch markers. I love how they look and the design on them. It's so cute. And I'm very pleased with this purchase. So I'm excited to put these on some projects very soon. It's good because I wanted to keep them on here to show it to you for the podcast, and then I'm going to put them on projects. But I do love the art style of these, and so, yeah, I'm very pleased. Also, like, I'm glad that I don't really use wood stitch markers, but I'm excited to see how these feel because they do feel really light, like holding them, like they feel light, and so I think it'll be really nice to put on projects and for it to not feel bulky. Okay, now, also if I missed something, apologies, but I just Everything's in bags right now. Okay, I think it's yarn time. Okay, just really quickly again to recap, I did get this yarn from Little Wing. Again, it was the Shadow Sock base in the colorway Nori. This nice green, kind of looks bluish on camera. It's green though. It's green. Beautiful, beautiful yarn. I'm knitting with it already. And it's knitting up so nicely. It feels really nice. Okay. Again, this is in the order of what's I can pull out of my bag first. Okay, I think that this was I know a Sunday purchase because this yarn, because I was eyeing it on Saturday and then I was like, let me think about it because I want to get a sweater quantity of sport weight yarn to make the Come Back Again cardigan by Andrea Mowry. And I looked through all the booths because I was like, I wanted to make sure, and I decided on this yarn. This is my first time buying from Viking Fiber Co. And I really liked their bases and their colors. This is in Laufen Sport Base. It is a non-superwash, US grown, 90% RWS Shanico fine wool, 10% gray Romney, and it's 370 yards for 100 grams. It's a 3-ply, and the colorway is Blood Oath. As you will maybe be able to tell, I'm kind of like in like this color kind of like feels right now, I guess. A lot of the yarn I bought this year or from Flock is in kind of this color zone, tone. I really like it. There's something about it that's super nice, and so I decided to get this. I think 4 skeins should be enough. I hope I calculated that right. But yeah, I'm hoping to cast on that cardigan sometime this year, and so I'm really excited to use this yarn. It feels really nice, and I'm hoping that it'll have some good stitch definition with the Come Back Again. But yeah, the people at Viking Fiber Co. were super nice and fun to talk to, so I'm excited to use their yarn and hoping to buy more from them. Hopefully they come back to Flock next year as well. Okay, then, let's just talk about my Explorer Knits yarn, because this also was somewhat planned. I did buy yarn from Explorer Knits. Because, okay, well, we'll just talk about it. Okay, I bought a sweater quantity in Denali sock of Leaf Peeping, and I'm so glad that she brought some of the like middle of the map collection, or like the Denver colorways, New York colorways, also the Seattle colorways, but I feel like I've had my fill of the Seattle colorways, but I did not buy from the middle of the map collection, and I kind of regretted it. So I'm really glad she had some at Flock so that I could buy what I wished I bought from the pre-order. But I bought a sweater quantity of this and I've talked about this already, but for the Mabel's sweater by Joji Locatelli, and I wanted to make that sweater in kind of like a yellow color, and I know that this is a bit more of an orangey golden color than the Mabel sweater, because it is called the Mabel sweater. I feel like I'm talking really fast, but that pattern is modeled after the sweater that Mabel wears in Only Murders in the Building TV series in the first season, and so, which is Selena Gomez's character. But I think that this color would be really nice, like close-ish, but still more of like a me kind of yellowy color that I would wear. So I'm excited because, yeah, I want to have a sweater in this color. So that should be pretty fun, and I'm going to cast this on pretty soon. I think the knit-along starts in the beginning of September. Okay, and then my other purchases from Explorer Knits were colorways that I wish I got from the pre-order, but I don't have specific specific project plans for them, and so I did my normal usual thing where I buy 2 skeins of Denali sock in each of the colorways, but here's the first one. Switchbacks. Ooh, this is a great color. I feel like I'm in a very fall colory kind of mood, but I like this one. So 2 skeins of this. This one may be very predictable for me, red rocks. Oh, really pretty variegated. This one, yeah, I remember seeing when this colorway came out like on her Instagram, and I was like, oh, it's so pretty. So seeing it in person was also super nice, and I still loved it, and so I got 2 skeins. And then this one also, I was like, doesn't feel super like me, but there's something about it that I really, really love. This is Upstate. I got 2 skeins of that. Oh, so good. So variegated. And I didn't realize this until I was looking at this, like at home. And we'll see, I guess, when I wind it up for a project, but I think this one looks way more blue than this one. This one looks very green. This one looks more blue. And so it'll be interesting to see if that's just how it's skeined up or if that's how they're dyed. And so if I do a project on this, I'll have to like keep that in mind. We'll have to either like, we'll probably have to alternate skeins to some extent, potentially. But that was it. That was all from Explore Knits. I know, but I do feel good that I have like some project plans. I think last year I had almost no project plans for the yarn I bought. Okay, next up is, actually keeping with the, fall colors. I also got this from Red Door. I kept going back and forth like so many times from this booth, like wanting to get this colorway and being like, no, I don't need it because I also just got yarn in very similar colors. But I really want to support Red Door. And so I was like, I also love the inspiration for this. So this is the classic fingering base. And the colorway is Star Drop Saloon from Stardew Valley. And I love Stardew Valley. So I caved. This was actually, I felt kind of bad because this is my very last purchase from Flock on Sunday. And I actually was like, when they announced like, okay, the marketplace is closed, I was like, could I buy this? And I felt bad because Kate already, she was like, all right, done. She like, I think like ripped out the card reader from like the power and was like winding it up. And I was like, I'm so sorry. Could I just buy these 2 skeins, please? And she was very nice about it. She was like, of course. So I was able to buy it. But yeah, this was like the absolute last purchase. Right at the deadline or the end of Flock that I got. I just caved. And I was like, all right, I'm going to get it. But I got 2 skeins. And so got to think of some project plans. But I don't have regrets on it. Okay. Next, I have yarn that's very much in my zone of like pastel-y colors. They're also very similar, but they're different. I got 2 skeins of this from ZZ Textiles. This is in the Falkland DK base. 70% Falkland wool, 15% baby alpaca, 15% silk. It's a 2-ply. It feels so nice. And so I'm excited to try this base out. And this colorway is Freshwater. So pale pinks, purpley blues. Yeah, I mean all kind of like different shades of all of those colors. But all very pastel and light. I love this kind of colorway for yarn. So I got that. Okay, and then I got from Little Fiber Co. I'm really excited for this. I got 2 skeins of this from Little Fiber Co. It's in the same colorway as the bat that I got from her, Impossible. And this base though is woolen Corriedale fingering. So it's woolen, spun, Corriedale, and fingering weight. 100% non-superwash Corriedale, 2-ply, 492 yards for 100 grams. So that's like a lot of yardage for each. And you can just see, even though it's 100 grams, like it's a pretty hefty skein. And so that's like super exciting. I don't know what kind of project I would make with this, but I love this colorway and I wanted to try a new base. New to me base. Very pretty. And then I could not resist. I didn't know who I forget who, someone brought it up to me that there was one section of Little Fiber Co.'s booth that was like kind of on sale. I think it was from like maybe some like leftovers from previous collections. And so I forget how much off, but there's some percentage off. And I was like, oh, okay. So I got some cashmere fingering, because this is a pricier yarn. And to have it on a little bit of a sale, I was like, that's also really nice. This is in the colorway Gleam, although it looks very similar to the other ones, just nice pastel rainbow. Oh, it's so pretty on camera. In person too, but also on camera. Cashmere fingering base. This is my first time using the cashmere fingering base from Little Fiber Co. Or not using, buying. 100% cashmere, so it's very luxurious. So soft. 4-ply. Each of these skeins is 50 grams, 185 yards. And so I got 2. I'll probably make some kind of like small scarf with it. Actually, I do have a scarf idea in mind. And I'm so tempted to cast it on soon. But also I was like, if I cast it on too soon and finish it too soon, it's still going to be too hot to wear the scarf. But it's also really cute and I want to make it. It would be so perfect, I feel like, in this cashmere yarn. It's so soft. So soft. But yeah, I'm happy I'm able to get some skeins of this on a discount so I can try it out. Okay, and that is, gosh, I think that's it. I mean, if I miss something or miss the whole section, I will talk about it next week, but that is all I have time to talk about, and that is also all that's in the bags that I had prepared to talk about today. That's it for the flock acquisitions. Hope you enjoyed seeing it. Okay, really quickly, because I did want to talk a little bit about it. So, of course, flock weekend happened, and so that's why I didn't have a video. And then the weekend after that, I had a skating competition, which I talked a little bit about in the previous video, and I was kind of nervous about, and some of you were so kind and wished me luck, both on my previous video, and also in person at flock. So thank you so much. It actually went super nice. I'm very happy with how it went. I just really quickly, because I know not all of you are interested in ice skating, but I competed for the first time. I moved up a level from the last time I competed into the adult bronze category. Last time I competed was actually at sectionals in 2020. Was it 4? Well, it was over a year ago. I'm trying to think, was it 23? It must have been 24. Oh yeah, it must have been 24 because I said I cannot do sectionals again in 25, but maybe I'm planning on doing sectionals in 2026 next year. But it's been over a year since I've actually competed and performed. So I was a little nervous for it this time. But I had a new free skate program. I moved up a level into adult bronze. Previously I was in adult pre-bronze, and I had a new free skate program, and I also had, for the first time, I had a showcase program, and for that I was in the emotional showcase program, and so the main focus for showcase programs for emotional categories to be emotional, to show emotion. And so that was overall like a really interesting and fun experience for me, just like first time experience for me. I only have pictures from the event. I don't have video yet of my program, and I'm kind of nervous to watch it when I get it because I felt pretty good about them, and I'm worried if I watch it, I'm be a little disappointed on how I look, but it'll all be for good learning and to continue to get better. But for my free skate, I think I did pretty good. I was nervous about like 2 of my jumps. I was nervous for the first jump I was nervous about was my loop jump. And again, you might not all know everything but about this, but I'll just talk about it. But my loop jump I was nervous about because I was doing it from a new entry this time, and it's a backwards crossover entry versus the inside 3-turn entry. I know this might sound gibberish to most of you, but it's very inconsistent for me, but I got it in the program, like in the performance, I got it, and so I was really happy. And then the next jump that I was nervous about was my last jump in my program, which is the Lutz. And it was working out fine for me during practice ice and the warm-up. Fine. It was all good. And then it did not work out. I didn't jump it enough, and so I landed it under-rotated and 2-footed the landing. So that wasn't great, but overall, just in general of the performance, I felt pretty good. I tried to have a lot of like facial expression and just to like take up space and just be I was trying to just think, like, how great is it that this is a moment that I get, like, private ice? Like, I don't have to watch out for running into anyone while performing. So I was really just trying to, like, visualize and be, like, happy and in the moment and enjoy it as much as possible. And I feel like I did. So that was really nice. My spins worked out really nice, too. Yeah, so overall very pleased with the free skate. And then the day after that, I had my showcase program, and that one I was a little nervous for because I feel like the warm-up situation and the amount of ice that you get is also a little different than the free skate. And so just like logistically, it was all new to me, but it was super nice. How it all went was great. Nothing went super crazy. I didn't fall, which was great. From the pictures, it seemed like a lot of sections I did try to like show just like sadness or longing or just like that. I was the only person competing in that category, so I had no competitor. So I don't actually, but I got scores for both my free skate and my showcase, like IJS scores, and not just a ranking, because I think for most events or most competitions for adults, for the lower levels, they don't bother with scoring you with numbers. They just kind of rank you, which is not super helpful to know how I can improve necessarily. So it was really nice to get IJS scores this time around. And yeah, I just overall had a great time. Honestly, I mean, I was nervous and a little stressed during the entire thing, but when I look back, I enjoyed it. I got to hang out with my other skating friends who were also competing, and we were all just like there together, and we were all just like cheering each other on, and so that just felt really nice overall, and just made me like love skating again and feel extra motivated to like do even better. And so it's been really great. Also, because this competition was in Wenatchee, which is kind of like a 2.5 hour to a 3 hour drive away from Seattle, east of Seattle. It was interesting. It was my first time in Wenatchee. But also I did some fun things outside of the skating. We did a you pick fruit thing, which is the first time I've done that, I'm pretty sure. I wish that the apples were in season, but I think we're like 2 weeks away from the apples being in season to pick, but nectarines were in season, and so we went and picked some nectarines. We actually picked 10 pounds of nectarines because the minimum was 5 pounds per person, which was a lot, but it was actually quite fun. And also, I think my first time eating a nectarine, which may be crazy, but tasted pretty good. And then this past week after that, we just have so much, and I was like, I can't just like eat nectarines. So I made some jam, and I also made like a nectarine crumble. And that makes it, for me, that's how I would like to eat that fruit. But yeah, okay, I know that was a lot, and I'm looking at the time, and I'm like, I gotta like get ready to go soon, but I'm glad I was able to get through everything within the time. Thank you so much for watching. I know that this might have been a little bit of everything in this video, but I was trying to catch you all up on what I've been doing. If I missed anything, just let me know in the comments if you have questions. Also, if I didn't cover it fully, feel free to leave a message in the comments, and I'll try to get back to you on it, or I'll address it in next week's video. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm happy to be back. I think I'm still going to be a little bit busy here and there on the weekends, but I think we'll be in better shape. I'm not going to be like have a 3-week period again, at least not anytime soon. And so I'm happy to get back into the flow of podcasting, and I'm getting excited again about my knitting, sewing, lots more sewing in the future, and spinning. I have a lot of spinning I want to do. So yeah, again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in next week's video. Bye.